the storm with your heart. Play the storm with your heart.
What is good, YouTube? This your boy Aaron.
It's Brian.
And this is the Courtside View Podcast, and we are back today, and we are giving our predictions for Week 6 of the NFL. We're also going to talk about some other news in the NFL, but before we do that, I want to get to Thursday Night Football, react to the game. I picked Seattle. I ain't going to lie, after what I heard from the injury report when it comes to Tariq Woolen, I probably would have picked San Francisco 49ers, but I decided to stay with my pick. You know, I said it on camera, so I decided, hey, might as well stand back with my pick. They lost. It was a lopsided game for the first half. It was like 23-3 at one point. I got very tired. I fell asleep during the third quarter. Woke up at the end of the game, saw that Seattle lost. It was close towards the end, but ultimately the San Francisco 49ers were able to prevail. The running game was able to get it going at the end. Clutch run by, I forget the running back's name. Isaac, yeah. Very clutch run at the end. Good run blocking to prevent Seattle to have the opportunity to get the ball back at the end. And that was just it. Like, Brock Purdy had 3 touchdowns. He had a phenomenal game. George Kittle, he was able to get it going. Brandon Ayuk still having trouble for whatever reason to get it going consistently. He had a great game last week, but this week, yet again, it's been a trend for him this entire season, just not having the consistent number of yards and catches. I lost some money betting this game. I didn't bet the money line, didn't bet the spread, didn't bet the under or over on the passing yards, but ultimately I thought, Brandon Ayuk with Tariq Woolen out, he would get more receptions, but that wasn't the case. And Jordan Mason, he going out like that, I heard as well. Like, I put the anytime touchdown on Jordan Mason, and
he ain't score?
No, he didn't score because he got hurt. I think it was a shoulder or something. He got hurt during the game, and I think it was the second half. They gave him the ball like one time, and then he took himself out of the game, and that was it for him. So
got you.
Yeah. It's a bad day for me, but I didn't bet too much money on it. I only bet like $5, so I ain't tripping too much. But damn, it's just sometimes you just gotta take some L's, man. You just gotta take some L's. But what was your reaction to the game?
I honestly wasn't surprised at the outcome of this one. I picked the 49ers to win because I knew trench for trench, the Seahawks wasn't going to be able to compete. And as we seen, they was in the backfield all night. Nick Bosa was causing absolute mayhem against that Seattle O-line, and it seems like that Geno ain't really have enough time, and when he did have time, him and receivers, him and DK wasn't on the same page with that interception he threw.
Yeah, I saw it.
And the run game wasn't getting going at all. It was just, and the defense was getting cooked on the other end, so they really need Byron Murphy back because it wasn't looking too good. He was out, right?
Yeah, he was out.
He was
sure.
out because he was questionable before the game.
Yeah,
I was making sure. But yeah, and they, as you said, they lost Tariq Woolen, so you need all your guys on deck when you guarding, Debo and Ayuk. Even though Ayuk didn't really do much this game, only 37 yards. George Kittle, he been going crazy this year.
Yeah, he has.
He has 5 touchdowns in the red zone, which is insanity. But yeah, I just feel like I just knew the 49ers was going to win. I feel like they had the better coaching. And they just had the better dude, so.
Yeah, the Seahawks team, they started off 3-0. Now I think they're 3-3 now. Mike McDonald, he's, for whatever reason, y'all were looking good against those teams with them bad quarterbacks, but then all of a sudden you go up against some quality QBs, quality coaching teams. You can't win them, and that's just unfortunate. Albeit the Giants, Daniel Jones not all that good, but Brian Daboll, again, he's a quality coach. When you give him enough talent, when you give him quality pieces around him, then he can really showcase his coaching. And the Seahawks, they've just been struggling. We said it again, the battle line that's one of the question marks coming in the season. That defensive line, just the inability to stop the run is really hurting them right now, and it hurt them against the Giants. It hurt them against all the other teams as well, and they just can't, for whatever reason, stop the run. And it don't matter how good your secondary is. If your defensive line can't get enough pressure, if they can't stop the run, what are them DBs going to do? They can't do nothing about stopping the run. So, yeah, man, it's really, like you said, the trenches at the end of the day, offensive, defensive, 49ers were just better, and the coaching just better. Even in Seattle on a Thursday night, it doesn't really matter because the 49ers, they're a well-coached team. They've been through adversity. They know how to win these type of games, and ultimately that's just how the cards were dealt for the 49ers and the Seahawks, and they were able to win. So let's transition real quick. Before we get to picking the games, I want to talk about just Hassan Reddick, man. Like, he's been in the news lately. His agency decided to part ways with him, and it's interesting because normally that doesn't happen. Normally it's the player that parts way with the agency because they feel like they're not doing their job right. It's just a disaster for Hassan Reddick. Just this holdout has been nothing but stupidity, in my opinion. I think that, there comes a point where you feel like you are worth a certain amount of money, but at the end of the day, you need to know, like, okay, is there going to be a some sort of way we can work this out? And it seems like Hassan Reddick, he doesn't want to work it out. He feels like he's worth this. The Jets are like, no, you're worth this. There doesn't seem to be some middle ground, and he has taken upon himself to hold out, miss some game checks, miss a lot of money, millions of dollars that could have been very beneficial to him just to make a point. I just think it's dumb. I just think it's stupid because as good as he is as a pass rusher, he is no Micah Parsons. He's no Myles Garrett. He's no Nick Bosa. He's no TJ Watt.
He's no Max Crosby.
He's no Max Crosby. So I'm looking at it from like, okay, yeah, you were good with the Eagles. You were great. You were phenomenal, but you're not on that level. So I don't understand, like, what are you trying to ask for in this situation? Because if you're dead set on a certain price, then that's on you, bro. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to these contract negotiations, you got to find the middle ground. And if you believe you're worth this amount of money and the team, the organization is like, no, you're not, like, you're worth this, and they're willing to negotiate with you, but you're not willing to negotiate with them, then I just think it's weird. It's just a dumb decision. The fact that you get traded to the Jets and then you want to get traded again, it's like, come on, bro. Like, what we doing? And the Eagles, it seemed like the Eagles weren't trying to give him his money, so that's why they traded him. And the Jets, they're like, hey, all right, we can negotiate with you for a deal. It's just the asking price you're asking for is probably a little bit too much for what we feel like you're worth and what the market bears. I just think he's just over his head. He needs to smell the roses. He needs to look in the mirror and realize that all you're doing is hurting your value, because teams are more than likely going to look at you and say you're a risk, and will probably give you a 1-year deal. And the 1-year deal, shit, it might be like $10 million. It might be $6 million. It ain't going to be a whole lot of money because you're a risk. We don't know if you're going to be all in. And that's just the nature of all things. All he's doing is hurting his market value. What is your thoughts on Hassan Reddick and the whole situation?
I don't know what's going on in that brother's mind, but he look crazy right now. I'm not gonna lie, because you missing, the more games you missing, the more money you losing. He's getting fined about $800,000 per game. I saw. You total that up over 17 games. Mm-hmm. Is it 17 or 18?
It's 17 games.
17 games?
Yeah.
That's almost $17 million.
Mm-hmm.
You could have just played and got that money. Granted, if you got hurt, you wouldn't get paid. But, brother, you're not paying and you're losing money. I'd rather be hurt and not get paid than be healthy, sitting on the couch and still losing money. Yeah. And then you got other league-mandated fines on top of that you got to pay. So what exactly is the end goal here? Who's going to be like, this dude sat out all this time, he ain't playing no football, let me give him $30 million. No one's going to do that. You crazy? I just think it's silly. I'm glad, if I was his agency, I would have dropped him too. Because what are you doing?
It's just dumb. It's just stupid. It's malpractice. You're hurting yourself. Like, he's getting paid. So this year he's getting paid $14,250,000.
He gonna be in the hole after this season is over.
He's age 30 right now. So when you get to 30, that's like football years. Like, you getting kind of old. So you're in age 30, and I suspect he feels like, oh, I'm worth like around the same as like the best pass rushers. When, like, again, like, your age and all those other dudes, like, they're different in terms of how they impact games. I don't think you're on that level. You're on the tier below them. And he feels like that's not the case. He probably wants over like $100 million, like 4 years. Like, dude, you're 30. Like, we're not giving you $100 million over 4 years.
I wouldn't.
So I don't know, man. It's just a messy situation. And then report came out about him and how, like, he's doing business with this one person, and this one person, he was trying to get like shares of his business, and Hassan Reddick was like, no, and he sent somebody to go intimidate him and stuff. It's just a bunch of stuff going on with that dude. It's just weird, man. He's just a weird guy, man. Something about them former Cardinals players that just
very odd individuals.
Very odd individuals. I don't know what's going on in Arizona, but when it comes to Arizona pass rushers, them boys be acting different when they be playing for Arizona and then leaving Arizona, because them dudes be head cases. So let's go to picking the games. Let's go to analyzing some of these matchups. Week 6 of the NFL. Hopefully I can do a little bit better this week than I did last, because, oh my God.
At this point, I don't even know.
I don't even know. So to start it off, we're going with the 9:30 a.m. game, the London game. We got Jacksonville versus Chicago. Just looking at the injury report, Tyson Campbell is going to be out. Evan Ingram is questionable. Gabe Davis is questionable. Yeah, those are only like real major names that I see.
Brisker's out.
Yeah, so yeah, Jaquan Brisker is out. Tevin Jenkins is questionable. Tyreek Stevenson is doubtful. Yeah, so I like the Bears in this game. I just think the Bears have been playing a lot better football. The offense seems to finally get a groove, finally getting it going a little bit. I like what I saw last week from the offense. I just don't like Jacksonville. I just think Jacksonville's one of the worst teams in the NFL. Yeah, they won last week. I picked them to win. I think that the Colts team overall, it was a good matchup for Jacksonville, division opponent. The Colts aren't that good. So I like Chicago this game. I just think defensively they're going to get after Trevor Lawrence in that offense. I think they're going to be struggling a lot. I think Caleb Williams is going to he's going to continue to improve on what he's doing. Like, every single week he's getting better and better. I expect him to get better this week also. I know London is like Jacksonville, like another home field advantage for Jacksonville. I just don't see it materializing this week, because Jacksonville is just an awful team. Like, Jacksonville is not good at all. And I think Caleb, I think DJ Moore, I think Romo Dunze, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift and the boys, they're going to get it going. They're going to figure out a way to attack this awful Jacksonville defense.
Yeah, I'm not a big believer in the Jags as it stands right now. And I think the Bears, I think the defense, I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to be able to do anything with them. And if they got the Chicago is only favored by 1 point, which is interesting. But I just think the Bears would be the better team. I know Trayvon Walker had a pretty good game last week. He had 3 sacks, I believe. And, the Chicago O-line is weak. Mm-hmm. And Tevin Jenkins is questionable, so that's not great. But I still got Chicago. Caleb has been playing much better ball than Trev. I'll tell you that much. And if they could continue to get on this roll, get the offense going, hitting DJ Moore, Rome, and all of them, I really don't see how they lose this game.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let's go to the next game. Let's go to the Buccaneers versus New Orleans Saints. So Buccaneers, they injury report. So Graham Barton's going to be out. Ernest Brown's going to be out. Cameron Johnson's going to be out. Trey Palmer's going to be out. Rashad White is doubtful. Jordan Whitehead is questionable. Antoine Winfield Jr. is going to be questionable. Jalen McMillan's going to be questionable. Got a lot of dudes that are questionable or out. It's going to be very interesting.
Shoot, the Saints got a bunch of dudes that are just flat out. Derek Carr
Carr
Will
out.
Harris out. Pete Werner out.
Taysom
Cesar Ruiz
Hill.
out.
Kendra Miller is questionable. Lucas Patrick questionable. Peyton Turner, Pete Werner. Yeah.
It's the injury bowl.
I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers.
I'm
though.
gonna go.
Yeah, I'm going.
The Saints
rookie QB. What is he like? 4th round pick, 4th round pick. I mean,
rookie QB and Todd Bowles like the blitz. Yeah, I'd rather not.
Yeah, I know they're gonna be in New Orleans, but I don't think it's gonna matter much. I just look at Tampa Bay. I think they're the better team. I think Baker Mayfield is a way better quarterback than who they have under center.
They still got weapons.
And they still got weapons. Yep, they still do. I like this team. I just think they're better from all facets, and I think, I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay on that one. Let's go to another 1:00 game. I'm not gonna be watching this game. Indianapolis Colts versus the Tennessee Titans. We have so Josh Downs is questionable. Kenny Moore is questionable. Michael Pittman is questionable, which is weird because
What the heck is going on with this Michael Pittman?
I don't know. I thought he was on IR.
They said he was a candidate for IR. Then all of a sudden he's at practice, and then he said, "Yeah, he's going to try to play through it."
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know.
buddy.
I don't know.
You better not end up like Mike Tyson after that fight. I broke my back.
Yeah, I don't know. Anthony Richardson's questionable. Brandon Smith is questionable. Jonathan Taylor is out. So when we look at
this
Tennessee
fantasy team is cooked.
Be quiet. No, we're not. We're still here. Jamal Adams is out.
Of course.
Kendra Corbin is out. Cedric Gray is out. So yeah, it seems like the Titans are relatively healthy, but does that really matter? Like, they're not really good anyway, but the Colts aren't good either way. So
is Anthony Richardson playing?
He's questionable. Both teams aren't that good. I would probably, the Colts have the better coaching in my opinion. They have the better O-line, just significantly better O-line, but the Tennessee Titans have a good defensive line. Tennessee Titans are at home, but they have Will Levis at quarterback. The Colts just lost to Jacksonville with Joe Flacco, and the Colts defense is actually really bad. It's like one of the worst in the NFL. So, man,
I'm gonna go with.
I might go with the home team. I think I might go with the home team because the Colts are really bad. No Jonathan Taylor. They just lost to Jacksonville.
Pittman trying to play with a broke back or whatever he got going on.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go with.
I'm gonna go Titans. This game has disaster.
I think they're gonna get your boy what's his name? Your running back.
Tony Pollard?
Yeah, your boy Tony Pollard. I think they're going to get him going. I think that's going to set up the passing game. I think they're going to get something going in the running game, and that's going to help them prevail. I think they're going to hide Will Levis a lot more, and that's going to be the recipe for success.
Isn't good. The Colts' defense just isn't good.
Yeah, and I think the defensive line for the Tennessee Titans is going to get after the Colts.
Jeff.
Yeah, Jeffrey Simmons. All right, let's go to, and then you got L'Jarius Sneed, who's really good. So,
yeah.
All right, let's go to the Houston Texans and New England Patriots. We got Drake May that's going to be starting this week.
They throwing that man into the fire.
Yeah, in the fire. At least they at home, but it don't really matter because it's the Houston Texans. So, just looking at the injury report.
Does it really matter
no,
at this point?
So, Jimmy Ward's going to be out. Joe Mixon is questionable. Derek Martinez is questionable, but everybody else is pretty much healthy. Oh yeah, and what's his face? Nico Collins. He's gonna be out for the next 4 weeks. He's gonna be on IR. So that's a huge loss.
My dynasty team is cooked.
That's a huge loss for the Texans. We'll see how Bobby Slowick dials up like the offensive game plan.
His legacy's on the line.
Yeah, so that's gonna be interesting to see because, again, like the offense hasn't been that great. It's been okay, mainly because C.J. Stroud is that good. But
I have the slightest suspicion the Texans ain't covering that 6.5.
This feels like a trap game.
Their run game is weak, and Christian Gonzalez has been locking number one receivers up all year.
This seems like a trap game in my opinion because without Nico Collins, with the offense not playing that well, and then you have Joe Mixon is questionable. We don't even know he's going to play. Jimmy Ward is out. This seems like a trap game to me. And then you have a rookie quarterback. Let me look at the Patriots. Who they got? What they got out? Who they got out?
I think Ramondre is out. Yeah, he's
Ramondre is out, but everybody else is like questionable. They got so many questionables. Good God.
I'm gonna still go with the Texans, but I think this game will be closer than people think. Because, yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably go with the Texans too. I think it's gonna be an ugly game.
Rookie QB.
Yeah, I can't subscribe to that. Drake May,
with
God
that
bless
line,
you.
no.
Yeah, Drake May, God bless you. But I think not having Ramondre Stevenson hurts a lot because, you know, as a rookie QB, you want to have a good running game, and they're not really going to have that. Antonio Gibson, God bless you. But no, you're not that guy. So, yeah, I'll just stay with the better quarterback, the better coaching staff, the better offensive line, defensive line. I'm going to go with the Houston Texans at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Cardinals versus the Packers. Cardinals will be at Green Bay. They will be at Lambeau Field. Green Bay Packers will be at home. Let's look at the injury report. So Zay Jones is going to be out. Nobody really cares. He's not that important. Darius Robinson is going to be out. Matt Prater, I think he's the kicker. He's going to be questionable. Garrett Williams, questionable. Christian Jones, questionable. Kelvin Beachum, offensive lineman, questionable. And, yeah, that's about it for now. For the Packers, we have a bunch of let's see. Jair Alexander's questionable. Jordan Morgan's questionable. He's not even going to start for us anyway. He's like a rookie for us. Rasheed Walker's questionable. Christian Watson's questionable, which is surprising. I thought he was going to be out a little bit longer. Devontae Wyatt, he's out. He's going to be out for probably another 2 weeks. Yeah, so give me the Packers in this game. I just think the Cardinals, they beat the 49ers. But I think the Cardinals, they're not that good of a football team. I think offensively, their offensive coordinator is just atrocious. I think it's going to play in the hands of the defense for the Packers. I think Jeff Hafley, although the pass rush hasn't been that good, I think schematically wise, Jeff Hafley will figure out a way to make it difficult for Kyler Murray, make it difficult for James Conner, all them dudes on offense, and I think the Packers will end up getting a win. I don't see the Cardinals defense really making it super difficult on Jordan Love and the passing attack for the offense. So give me the Packers this game at home.
Yeah, I'm inclined to go with the Packers too. Only concern about y'all is that defense. If you can't get pressure on Kyler Murray, he's going to just sit back in the pocket and dot you up.
He will.
And, you know, he got dudes. He got Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride, and no Jair. That makes that a little more difficult.
Well, he's questionable. Well,
I'm just saying if he doesn't
play. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
But I'm gonna still go with the because the Cardinals defense is horrible, and I'm gonna just go with Jordan Love. I don't see him having a game like Brock Purdy had last week.
Yeah, especially, and then you're at home too. The only thing I would say is, again, like I already mentioned this before, but like you already said, like in terms of like the defensive line getting after Kyler Murray, preventing the running game from getting anything going. If the Cardinals' running game can get it going, like if James Conner can like be James Conner and do some of the things that he usually does, then that's going to bode well for the Cardinals, and they could potentially win the game. But ultimately, I think that just the Green Bay Packers are just too good offensively and just defensively from a schematic standpoint that they'll prevent the Cardinals from winning. I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be maybe a 7-point game between the Cardinals and the Green Bay Packers, and I think the Green Bay Packers will win this game at the end of the day. All right, let's go to the Cleveland Browns versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, this is not a good showing. Deshaun Watson, it's just getting to a point with Deshaun Watson where it's like, do you want to win or not? Like as a team, as an organization, like do you want to win or not? Are you just trying to appease him? Like, well. Because he's clearly not the guy. Like, he's clearly not somebody you can win with. But they're paying him all that money, and they're pretty much stuck with him.
It would be the most Eagles thing ever for them to make Deshaun Watson look like he was still on the Texans. That would be hilarious. But it's not going to happen.
Nah, they're in Philly.
The Eagles win by at least one score, in my opinion, at least 7 points. The spread is 9. The Eagles' offense has been shaky. I know they're getting A.J. Brown and Smitty back, so that's some
That's going to really help out a lot.
But I'm still go with the Eagles. Going to wash these dudes. I ain't going to lie.
Denzel Ward is questionable. Jordan Hicks is questionable. The Browns' defense hasn't been all that good either. Like, they've been underwhelming as well. Nick Chubb is still not going to be able to come back yet. Grant Delpit is still out. So, yeah, it just seems like a game that the Eagles should win. Like, there's no excuse. Like,
they better win.
Like, you're pretty much healthy. Like, I'm looking at the injury report. Nobody's hurt.
Everybody else in the NFC East beat the Browns. If the Eagles don't, that's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, the only team that couldn't beat the Browns is the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we already talked about them and how I don't believe in them at all. And the Eagles, the injury report, everybody's healthy. Like A.J. Brown, Sidney Brown, Nakobe Dean, Lane Johnson, Devontae Smith, Reed Blankenship. Like, all these dudes are healthy. So y'all should win this game running away. Like, it shouldn't be a question of who should win this game. And I don't see Deshaun Watson having one of those, like, vintage Texans Deshaun Watson performances. I don't see that from him. Like, I think he's a lost cause, and I think he's shattered glass. Like, I think that's what he is right now. And I don't see it getting any better with him unless he had like Nick Chubb. If he had Nick Chubb with him, then maybe. But no Nick Chubb. The running game's not all that good. Jerome Ford's not all that good. I don't see it going well for the Browns. All right, let's go to
This is the most overhyped game I've ever seen in my life. Let me tell you something. Jayden Daniels is playing good ball, but we gotta let's relax here. I've been seeing a lot of foolishness saying that he's a better thrower of the ball than Lamar Jackson. Have you lost your mind?
You talking about Ryan
I've seen it from multiple people.
So
Twitter users and analysts alike.
Let me ask you this, because I think there needs to be like some people need to clarify what they mean by that, because if we're comparing Lamar and Jayden Daniels rookie seasons as a passer, then I agree that Jayden Daniels is a better passer than Lamar Jackson. But we're talking about now.
They were talking about now.
If they're talking now, then that's ridiculous. Like, come on now. You gotta watch ball. Like, you gotta
Lamar
watch film.
Jackson won an MVP, led the league in touchdown. Jayden Daniels is not going to lead the league in touchdown throws. Not this year, at least. People gonna be in the roof for awakening. I think the Ravens win this game going away.
Whoa, okay, you need to calm down.
I'm serious.
Calm down. The Ravens be playing with their food too much. Calm down. I think it's gonna be a competitive game.
Y'all, you watch what Lamar do to that Dan Quinn. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be glorious. It's going to be glorious. It's gonna be a party. They're 7-point favorites for a reason.
Okay, all right. Well,
I think the Commanders will do good. I mean, I kind of need them to, because I need Terry McLaurin to get like 2 touchdowns, but like just lose by like at least 7 points.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have the Ravens win this game too. I just think they're too good. Lamar Jackson, he's a 2-time MVP for a reason. He's playing, in my opinion, he's been the best quarterback in the NFL this entire season so far. Last week he was sensational. The week before he was sensational. Give me the Ravens. Give me the better coached team. Give me the team that has the veteran quarterback, the veteran team overall with Marlon Humphreys, with Kyle, what is his name? Kyle, the safety for the Ravens.
Hamilton.
Kyle Hamilton, yeah. Give me him. They got better dudes. Like, they just got better dudes overall, and I think they're gonna win this game.
I don't think they haven't played a defense this good yet, that had this much talent on it.
No. So
it's gonna be
it's gonna be a challenge. It's gonna be a challenge for them. I think this game is definitely gonna be entertaining. Commanders, it seems like they have an identity. They know who they are. Jayden Daniels, he looks very comfortable in that system, that Cliff Kingsbury system. Dan Quinn got them boys playing that defense. They just been balling, man. Like, you got to salute to the defense of the Commanders the past 2 weeks, because they have shown up and they've been getting better and better. Now you got to play Lamar Jackson. Now you got to play this offense. I don't see them really making it difficult for Lamar Jackson.
And honestly, if it does turn into a shootout, I trust the Ravens to win. They beat Cincinnati in the shootout last week on the road, so
yeah,
they got the home field. I'm pretty sure the crowd's gonna be pretty split, because literally Baltimore is not that far from Landover.
So the only name that seems to have me like a little concerned with the Commanders is, Brian Robinson is questionable, But for the most part, they're relatively healthy. Like, all the people that they need is healthy. When I look at the Ravens side of things,
Marlon Humphrey was questionable.
Marlon Humphreys is questionable. Rasheen Ali is questionable. I mean, for the most part, like, all the key guys, Ronnie Staley is questionable. So that could be a concern. Like, if Ronnie Staley is out, Marlon Humphreys is out, I don't see them being out. So I believe for the most part the Ravens they'll be fine, and I think they win by like 7 points, 7 to 10 points. That's how I look
fair.
at it.
That's what the spread says.
Yeah,
that daggone total is at 51.
But if Jayden Daniels does win this game and he plays well,
this would be the worst timeline.
The
of all time.
DMV, man, it's gonna be a party in the DMV. 5-1. I haven't seen that.
That sounds like the worst possible.
I think it's great, man.
I think it's horrible.
I think it's great because the DMV, they deserve it because
they don't deserve nothing.
Yes, they do deserve it. You know how long they've been in purgatory. You know how long
they deserve it.
See, Cowboys fan number one here.
Absolutely.
Biggest Washington hater known to man is right here.
I think the biggest Washington hater is in our group chat. I don't even hate them that much.
See, here's the thing. Like, the reason why it would be great is because, number one, although the fan base can be a bit annoying, I think they.
A bit?
Okay, very annoying. I remember when I went to the game against the Packers. Yeah, they were very annoying. When your team loses against them, they gonna let you know. Very disrespectful. But regardless, I think it's a beautiful thing because they've been just struggling for so many years. Like, they still talk about the RG3 year, his rookie season. Like, that was a glory year for them. And it's just over and over again, they've been dealing with all of the different drama, all the different just dysfunction going around with the Snyder regime. Now he's out. You bring in a new ownership, and it just seems like they finally are getting it together. And it's just beautiful to see because I hear all these stories about, my family talk about, I remember when the Redskins were good. I remember when they were winning Super Bowls back in the 80s, early 90s. And I'm just like, man, like that feels like a long time ago. That feels like a myth, a fairy tale, because just seeing how they've been for like the past 20 years, they have been irrelevant. They have been out of the Super Bowl picture for so long, and it just doesn't seem real to me. And for them to finally get some sort of optimism for the organization, it's just such a weird time we're in because you're not used to that, and the fans are not used to that. And I remember my aunt, back when I was a fan of the team, this was like when RG3's rookie year, she was like, hey, don't get all excited now. Like, remain calm. Don't get all excited because you're going to jinx it. There's all these things about jinxing the team and everything because the fan base is so scared because they have been irrelevant for so long. Like, any little hope that they see, they feel like if they get too excited, it will ruin it. If they start saying, we're going to go to the playoffs, we're going to win a playoff game, they feel like, we're going to jinx the team. Something's going to go wrong. And that's why I had to leave the team because I just couldn't. I could not stand that just anxiety of feeling like, if I say this, if I say something good about the team, something bad is going to happen. Like that's just something that I don't want to experience anymore. And I just hope that they can continue to progress. If they lose the game, hopefully it's competitive. If they win the game, great. But, man, it's a great time to be in the DMV to see the Commanders. Cause,
if you're a fan of them. If you're not a fan, you're going to hate it.
Well, I just think the experience is something good to see. All right, let's go to the next game. Let's go to the Chargers versus the Broncos. This is another game where I'm going back and forth on this one because both teams are going on opposite directions. So the Chargers, they started off 2-0. They've been struggling a lot since the 2-0 start. I mean, the offense has been just pathetic. Broncos, they slowly came along, but now I think they're over 500.
They're 3-2.
3-2. So they playing really good football. The defense has been amazing. Bo Nix hasn't really had to do a whole lot because the defense has just been phenomenal. So the Denver Broncos are at home. I don't know what the odds are in this game, but it's probably close. Joey Bosa's questionable. Who else they got? Asante Samuel Jr. is out. Rashawn Slater is questionable. The defense has been amazing for the Chargers. Like, they have carried this team. Let's see. The Broncos, they don't have a whole lot of people on the injury report. So, yeah, the Broncos, relatively, like, all their good players are going to be healthy to play. This one is hard. Like, do I go with the team with the better quarterback, or do I go with the team that has played better and that's at home?
I'm going with the Broncos.
I'm conflicted on this
because the defense has been playing really well. Pat Surtain is going to shut out whoever they try to throw at wide receiver 1 out there on the Chargers, and they haven't really got the run game going, and the Broncos are very good against the run. I just don't see how, and Greg Roman, I don't think his offense is going to be creative enough to even try to move the ball in an effective manner against this Broncos defense. Bo Nix, I mean, granted, the Chargers do have a good defense. They're more like a top 10 defense playing this year, but I feel like in a game of it's going to be like a game of tug of war in this sense, and I think the Chargers will break quicker. Granted, it's a division game. This could turn into a shootout for all we know.
Man,
you know how division games go.
My thing, I get what you're saying, like a tug of war, but you gotta remember the guy on the other side is Justin Herbert. Like, Justin Herbert is one of the top 10 best QBs in the NFL. I
have a rebuttal for that.
What?
Yes, he's a top 10 QB, but he is risk adverse, and I feel like against this Broncos team, you're gonna have to make some big boy throws. Because the windows is going to be tight, and you need to strike when the opportunity. No hesitating, no taking the safe play. You're going to have to make a play. And will Justin Herbert do it with these weapons? I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think so. My thing. Let me ask you this, because I'm looking at both QBs and just the way that the game is going to look like. Bo Nix and Justin Herbert. What do they need to do in order to win the game? Because it seems like it's going to be a slugfest. It seems like it's going to be a low-scoring contest, lean on the running game. What do they need to do?
The total, the over/under is 35.
Okay, yeah, it's going to be an ugly game. It's a division game. It's going to be in Denver. My question to you is, what is either Justin Herbert or Bo Nix going to need to do in order to win this game?
Bo Nix, you got to rely on that defense and play turnover-free football, and make plays with his legs, and honestly, find an open man when you can. I mean, this Chargers defense is pretty stingy. They held the Chiefs to 17 points it was. So, yeah, man, you just got to be opportunistic.
Opportunistic.
Yeah, opportunistic. And the Chargers, I really can't say what Justin Herbert needs to do because it's really Greg Roman. He has to call the right plays. And the way that their offense has been operating this year, outside the first 2 weeks where J.K. Dobbins ran for 1 billion yards, they haven't really done much.
No.
And look at the weapons that they have. I mean, Lad McConkey, he's cool, but he's a rookie. Quentin Johnston, he had 1 or 2 good games this year. I don't know. I really don't know. It's really on Greg Roman, to be honest. They need to open up that playbook a little bit more. Justin Herbert can make every throw on the field.
He can, but again, like you say, he's
risk adverse.
He doesn't want to take those chances, even though he has a big enough arm. He has a strong arm. He's very talented. I think I'm gonna go with you. I think I'm gonna go with the Broncos. I think they're just a better team. I think they're probably the better coach team as well. Although they have a rookie QB, I just think the way that Sean Payton has the way that he has dialed up like certain plays, just the way that they operate on offense, it just seems like they can figure something out for Bo Nix, a game plan for Bo Nix that will be successful enough for them to win the game. They won't put everything on him, put everything on his shoulders. I believe the Broncos, they just a better unit overall. Maybe not talent-wise, but just from it seems like a coaching perspective, it seems like they're just better. They're just better prepared. They have a game plan that works for them defensively and offensively. They went to the Jets. I know the Jets aren't that great, but they went to the Jets and they were able to find a way to win the game against a talented Jets team. And I think very similar to how they did against the Jets, they can do against the Chargers. I just think they're going to score a little bit more than what they did against the Jets, and I expect the Broncos to win this game.
It's funny because the Chargers are favored by 3, so Vegas really thinks they're favored by 6.
Why do you think the Chargers are going to win?
I'm not.
It's because of Justin Herbert. They think Justin Herbert gives them 3 points.
They honestly think they could win by a touchdown, but home team gets 3 points. So
That's interesting because they're on the road. I know it's the division game.
But the Denver spread is only plus 135. I take that. That 135.
All right. Well, I guess I'll go with the underdog then. I guess we'll go to the underdog. Let's go to the Steelers versus the Vegas versus the Raiders. This one, wow. All right. This one, listen, I'll be watching because of Justin Fields, but only because of Justin Fields. So just looking at the injury report, Jaylen Warren, he's questionable, but it seems like he's going to play this game.
I think I just saw a tweet that said he's going to play.
So just looking at everybody else, it seems like for the most part, a lot of the guys that they need are going to be there. Cordell Patterson, he's going to be out. He's always hurt. But for the most part, a lot of the key guys that they need on the field is going to be able to play. For the Raiders, obviously Devontae Adams, he's not going to play. Max Crosby, he's healthy. Christian, I think the guy that they signed in offseason for the Dolphins, he got hurt.
Christian Wilkins?
Yeah, he's going to be out for the remainder of the season. That's a huge loss for them. Samir Wright, he's questionable.
Samir White is just not good.
Jacoby Myers is questionable. Michael Mayer is going to be out. I heard some things about Michael Mayer that's, he has some personal issues, something major.
I thought I saw something like that, too.
Something major going on with Michael Mayer.
I'm going to go with the Steelers.
I'm going to go with the Steelers, too. The Raiders,
it's
just something odd going on with them.
You just have a funk to them.
Yeah, I know they're at home.
The Steelers got their flaws and all, but I don't know.
The Raiders are just something weird is going on with the Raiders. I don't know.
Some of them throws Dak had to make to keep the team in the game. Last week, Gardner Minshew ain't making them throws. I tell you that much.
Or Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah.
So, yep. Let's go to the Cowboys versus the Lions.
I'm super conflicted with this one.
Okay, so it seems like the Lions are going to be relatively healthy this game. When we look at the Cowboys, we already know Mike Parsons not going to be able to play.
No Eric Kendricks either.
Yeah, no Eric Kendricks. DeRon Bland is questionable. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's going to be out as well. So
they said DeRon Bland will probably play more than likely.
I'm still going with the Lions. I'm going with the Lions this game. They're too good. They're too talented. I don't see the Cowboys being able to stop that offense. I think defensively, Aiden Hutchinson, he's going to get after your boys. And I like the Lions this game on the road, 4:25 p.m. game. That's how I'm feeling. Here we go.
I want to say that I agree with you, but something about this game gives me Vegas is going to pull the rug under people vibes. Dak Prescott is, I believe, 5-0 against Detroit in his career. Not that necessary that 100% matters. Last year's game was close. Dak is playing good football, but Jared Goff is also playing good football. His last game was perfect game. They're coming off a bye week. Could Russ come into play? Perhaps. But I think they'll be ready to fire. They're going to be hyped up to play the Cowboys, especially after what happened last year. Cowboys are dealing with some injury. I don't know how we're going to stop the run, especially without Eric Kendricks, who's the green dot on defense. I really don't want to lose to these dudes. Lions fans are so corny nowadays, but I guess the Lions will win. I ain't gonna be happy about it, but if the Lions lose, I'm talking crazy.
Okay, yeah. I wouldn't mind y'all winning the game.
Of course,
yeah,
Packers.
Nah, but remember, so the quote, something's weird going on with your team. So, like, with Ezekiel Elliott, Jerry Jones is like, we're saving Ezekiel Elliott. I'm like, saving him for what? Like,
I don't know.
y'all are fighting to make the playoffs. You need Ezekiel Elliott no matter what.
Here's the thing. With Zeke, he's not good.
I know he's not good. So what are you saving him for?
Exactly.
I don't get it.
They're not saving him. They're not playing him because he's not good unless it's short yardage. And even when we wasn't short yardage at the goal line, they decided to get the ball to Rico anyway.
I don't get it, man.
People need to wake up and smell the coffee. Zeke, you're washed. What the WWE dude said? What's his name? Carmelo Hayes.
Oh yeah, he said put the fries in the bag, bro. You're washed. Yeah, bro. Okay, let's go to the next game. Let's go to the Falcons versus the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers are at home. Coming off of an amazing.
The Falcons been
game.
rolling. This is the Falcons we predicted before in our episode before the season started. This is what we predicted the offense to look like. They really been getting it going. Mm-hmm. They need to get the run game going because Bijan is too talented of a player for them to for his stats to be looking the way it is. And the Panthers defense is horrible.
A lot of guys are on the injury report.
Yeah,
or out. So I think I'm gonna go with the Falcons this game. They're healthy.
Falcons gonna hoop on them boys.
They're healthy. The Carolina Panthers defense is awful. I don't see the Carolina Panthers trying to stay in this game. I don't think they're gonna be able to compete. Although it's a divisional game, I understand divisional games are tricky. A lot of things can happen, but overall, I just think the Falcons, from coaching, from just a talent perspective, and who's healthy, I like the Falcons this game.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the Cincinnati Bengals versus the New York Giants. Now, honestly, this could be more interesting than what you think.
The Giants been playing better than expected.
The Giants are
no
at
Malik
home.
Neighbors, though.
Yeah. But they did go to Seattle and win without Malik Neighbors.
And that Bengals defense has been getting cooked this year.
Yeah, so here's the thing with the Giants, because it all boils down to Daniel Jones. Is he going to help or hurt the team? Is he going to lose the team the game? And I think against the Bengals, the Bengals defense is not good. Like, it's just not good. So Daniel Jones shouldn't have too much trouble trying to making sure that he takes care of the football and he doesn't put the ball in harm's way. So just looking at the injury report, Bengals are relatively healthy. Chase Brown, he's questionable. I expect he's going to play. Mike Hilton is questionable. Don't know if he's really going to play or not. Doesn't really matter because the defense is trash. On the Giants side of things, we have Brian Burns is healthy.
Thibodeau was out.
He is out. That is a huge loss for them. Devin Singletary is questionable. I mean,
Neighbors is out. We all know.
Yeah, so Thibodeau and Neighbors is going to be out, which is those are huge losses. This game, oh man. On one hand, I do want to pick the Cincinnati Bengals, but on the other hand, I'm like, they're just not a good football team. Like, their offense is good, but the defense is just there's just nothing about the defense that gives me hope that they can make it difficult for Daniel Jones at home on primetime. The Giants, they have a fantastic offensive line and defensive line. Now, Thibodeau is going to be out, but they still have a decent defensive line. Man,
that's true.
I'm
going to go with the Bengals simply off the fact that if the Bengals go 1-5, people need to get fired.
Yeah. Just thinking about who they lost to. They lost to the Commanders. They lost to the Patriots. They lost to the Ravens. They lost to the Chiefs. I
mean, three of those, all except the Patriots, those are good teams.
They are.
But the Giants been playing. They've been punching above their weight class.
They've been playing really good football lately.
I just think we get a really solid Burrow performance. They got to stop all them dudes on offense. The Giants, they got the best of Seattle, but without Thibodeau, I don't really see it. And without Neighbors,
man. I'm in my oh my God, I'm in my Raven Simone moment, trying to picture like the future and stuff, just thinking about how the game will go.
I'm gonna stick with the Bengals. It's gonna be a bad look if Joe Burrow and them end up 1-5.
I think I'm gonna go with Bengals too. Their backs are against the wall. primetime game. They want to send a message.
The Giants aren't expected to compete this year.
No. I'm hesitant because Brian Dable is not a bad coach.
Oh,
and
no,
they
not
have
at all.
a good defensive line.
Yeah, I know.
And
right?
they're at home. So it's very,
and
very
they
difficult.
can run the football.
Yeah, they can run the football. Oh, man. But you're going to have to score points against Cincinnati. You have to score points. Like, you cannot just lean on the running game and have Daniel Jones be like this game manager, not turn the ball over and stuff like that, and expect to keep up with Cincinnati's offense. I'm going to go with Cincinnati this game. I just think overall their offense is going to be really good. I believe the defense will play a little bit better just for the simple fact that it is Daniel Jones. That offense is very limited on what they can do. They can only play really one way without Malik Neighbors. So give me the Bengals. It's going to be – I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think this is going to be a close game on prime time. But ultimately, I called out Joe Burrow last week saying, hey, where's the clutch? Where's that closer? Where's that clutch Joe Burrow? I think he'll show up this game, and I expect him to win in a close contest.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Monday night game. Let's go to the Jets versus the Bills.
Oh,
bro, yo. So
this is interesting.
So the Bills are going to be relatively healthy. Matter of fact, nobody is on the injury report that is hurt. It seems like nobody's questionable, so they're going to have
Oliver's out.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going off of the injury report. It doesn't seem like. Doesn't have anybody that's
James Cook was questioned. They said he's going to play though.
Yeah,
James Shakir, he probably will be back. Curtis Samuel or Matt Collins. On the Jets side, Conklin is questionable. Okay, they better clear that up because I started him in fantasy. C.J. Mosley questionable. Morgan Moses is questionable. Aaron Rodgers is questionable.
He's going to play.
Yeah, he's going to play.
He's going to play.
He's gonna take them perks and be right back on them field just like old times. I'm conflicted on this game because
this is a weird one.
You know, new head coach, promoted head coach,
and
interim head coach,
new play caller too.
Yeah, new play caller. They are doing the guy who used to call plays
in
for
Tennessee.
What's his name?
I don't know his name, but like
his name is.
It don't really matter.
Yeah, he wasn't good.
Yeah, he wasn't really good. He wasn't really good. But then the new OC, new play caller. This is a tough one, man, because
Bills been on a backslide.
I think I'm gonna go with the Bills because I think the Bills, like, they nearly beat the Houston Texans last week if they just don't do that dumb. We're gonna throw the ball 3 straight times in our own end zone. Like if they just ran the ball and they did a better job of with working with the clock, then they probably would have won that game. I think the Bills are just slightly better than the Jets right now, even though their offense is very limited on what they can do. It's just so much going on with the Jets. I know they're going to be at home, but, like, bruh, it's just so much going on.
It feels like bad vibes over there.
It's just something going on. Like, they trying to cover up, like, all the mess by, like, firing the coach.
Your O-line is underperforming. Your run game is non-existent. Your number one wide receiver not performing like a number one wide receiver.
Nah, man.
And your defense still your defense, but, I mean, they can only do so much.
It's just a lot of bad vibes, bro. Like, just they think they can fire the coach, change the play caller, and then things will be better. I like
Aaron
the
Rodgers
idea.
Playing like doo-doo too.
I like the idea. I like the idea of changing play callers because Nathaniel Hackett is the worst play caller in the NFL by far. It's not even close. But the guy that they brought in to replace Nathaniel Hackett, he's not all that good too. So it's like you're going from trash to garbage, essentially. Like it's really not that much.
Yeah.
It's really not that much. So maybe they can improve by like 10%, which is always great. I mean, if you improve even slightly, that's great in itself because Nathaniel Hackett is that bad. But man, you're going up against the Bills, a divisional opponent that knows you, that knows how you play, that knows the personnel. Man, that is a tough thing to do. Like if they were going against like a team that wasn't in the division, like a Jacksonville, like a Colts or something, like then I'd be like, okay, then they could probably win this game. But against the Bills, man, the way that they lost like that last week, I think they're going to be motivated. They're going to be ready to get another win going. Josh Allen, you know him, like he really wants to win. Like he really puts a lot of work in. So Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bills this game.
Yeah, I'm
man.
going with the Bills. Josh Allen, I trust him to make a play when it matters.
Okay, well,
And they kind of need to win this game.
Yeah, they do. They desperately need to win this
Going
game.
on a 3-game lose streak, not good.
Because whoever wins this game is going to be in the lead for the division.
Yeah.
So this is an important game right here. All right, that'll do it for our predictions for NFL Week 6. I already know something's going to go wrong in this game that I thought was going to happen, but we'll just have to see. Hopefully I'm right on majority of these games because, yeah, my record last week wasn't too good. 6-8 was not good for me. So hopefully I can get back on a good 70% win rate, even though that is just damn near impossible for me right now. All right. Is there anything else we should discuss before we get out of here? I can't think of at the moment. I mean,
well, this video gonna be going up later. So I would say like the college slate is pretty insane today.
Yeah, it is. It really is right now. You got Texas versus Oklahoma. You have Oregon versus Ohio State.
Ole Miss, LSU.
Yeah, Alabama.
Kansas State, Colorado.
Yeah. I can't that Colorado game. I can't wait to see Kansas because it's another big test for them. And Shedeur Sanders, like as a NFL QB prospect, you want to see like, okay, how does he handle a good team and
a ranked team,
another ranked team, because he didn't look good against not Utah. It was Nebraska, even though I don't think Nebraska was ranked at that time. I just want to see, just as a team, can Colorado are they finally getting it together? Are they finally becoming a respectable team? Because they have been winning lately. They have been looking pretty good. I mean, against UCF, they dominated when people thought that they were going to lose by like 14 points at least. This is going to be a good test for Colorado. I can't wait to see that.
The Kansas State spread is only -3.5.
So it seems like Vegas is starting to respect Colorado some more. They must see something that we don't, because right now that 3.5.
Man, Travis Hunter and Shedeur, man, they electric out there.
Yeah, and that offensive line, they were able to protect Shedeur against UCF. So this is just a lot of good things that I've seen from Colorado so far since they lost to Nebraska. Yeah, Texas, Oklahoma. Texas is going to blow Oklahoma out of the door. They're going to win by like
they way
over
too
20.
hurt.
Yeah, they're way too hurt and they're soft. They're just too soft. The offense is horrible. Jackson Arnold, he's supposed to be the guy. He wasn't. He's not that good. Yeah, Texas is going to blow them out by at least 20 points. It's not going to be pretty. The spread is -17. I think it's going to be worse than that. Like it's going to be ugly. Penn State versus USC. I think Penn State, they're going to win this going away. USC right now, they're starting to go back to the old USC where it's soft. They can't defend against Big Ten. That's
Caleb
just the way
Williams
it is.
is not walking through them doors.
Nope. No, it's not. And I think Penn State, they're just too good. They're the number 4 team in the nation for a reason. They have a really good offense, and their defense is phenomenal. So, and then we have
BYU was ranked 14.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Didn't know that either. So yeah, man, that's really all that I could really say right now. Oregon, Ohio State. That's gonna be the game. That's the game right there on NBC. I'm surprised it's not on ESPN, ABC. But yeah, that's the game right there. I'm not too familiar with
the ABC ESPN game is Ole Miss and LSU. So, yeah.
I haven't watched Ohio State and Oregon, but what I know so far is that Ohio State, their defense has been better. They haven't played a whole lot of competition. That's the thing. Like the competition has been very small. Oregon as well. They haven't really played a whole lot of big competition. So they have Ohio State -3. Oregon has been. They've been a roller coaster. They have been they haven't been that dominant. They haven't been all that good. Like they have been playing with the food a little bit too much. I can see why the spread would be -3 for Ohio State because they have been playing a lot better. But they're in Oregon though. That's my thing. They're in Oregon. Oregon is. If you play college football 25, you know how insane that crowd. Like, I just don't. Like, this is one of them games I just don't know. Like, I really don't know how this is going to turn out because I haven't really been watching the teams that much. So, I can't really give you a good prediction for the game because I just don't know. Like, from just Ohio State and from Oregon, I just don't know. I just haven't really been paying attention to these two teams so much.
I just go with Oregon.
Yeah. Just go with the home team.
I mean, not Oregon, Ohio State.
Ohio State, just go with the spread.
Yeah, I like the players better too.
Okay, well, I think that'll do it for this edition of Courtside View Podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the notification bell, follow the socials as well, and we will see you guys in the next episode of Courtside View Podcast. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.
Salute.
Just let me be.